I want to take a little bit of extra time to be with you all today and to do something a little different. I promise different, right? Okay, so first of all, we're going to do something as sort of a mindfulness practice today. And we're going to find a mantra to help us just relax and feel good. And then we're going to go outside. All of us. We're going to take the kids out there, and grown-ups, you are welcome to join us outside, because we're going to do things like, I don't know, hug a tree, or touch some grass. I know, you guys, I'm just learning this go touch grass thing, okay? I'm a little behind, like apparently I got old and out of touch, okay? And so I've been reading about all these earth meditations, and then I saw in the comments something about go touch grass. I'm like, what are they talking about? Do you know what that is? Yeah, what is it? As a joke, we'll say go touch grass, get out of the house, get off the computer. What's that? Yeah. Yeah. Go touch grass.
If you're barefoot, your feet are touching grass and you're grounding yourself to Mother Earth.
Yeah, you're grounding yourself to Mother Earth. Yeah. Is touching grass good for you?
Means you're slowing down.
Slowing down?
To look at the grass.
Okay. Slowing down to look at the grass. Take some time, get back in touch with the earth that we came from. Jen? Okay. A mantra. It's something that you say to yourself. It's a short, simple statement. You can say it over and over again so that you can believe it. And I picked some mantras out today. And I'm going to read them, and you can just pick the one that you like best. Okay? I believe in myself.
I believe in myself.
I can do hard things.
I can do hard things.
I am enough.
I am enough.
I am valuable.
I am valuable.
I make a positive difference in the world.
I make a positive difference in the world.
I am creative and open to new solutions.
I am creative and open to new solutions.
I am a valuable member of my community.
I'm a valuable member of my community.
Okay, so pick the one that you think you really need most. The one that maybe kind of you can feel in your chest or in your brain and went, oh, that's the one.
I'm not a drop in the ocean, I'm the ocean in a drop.
Okay, you can also make up your own. I am not a drop in the ocean, I am an ocean in the drop. Yeah? Yeah.
Go.
Yeah? You have a mantra?
I do. I have a very large garden that I created, and some of it's edible, so it's enriching. And it gives back visually, spiritually, and it nourishes you.
I love that. Yeah, so we're not just touching grass, we're like, yeah. The earth feeds us. We need the earth. We are part of the earth, right? So we're going to go outside. Yes.
The earth is our mother.
The earth is our mother. We take care of her.
We
She
must
takes
take
care of
care
us.
of her.
We must take care of her. So are you ready to go out? Do you want to touch grass or hug a tree? What are we going to do? We're ready. All right, grown-ups, please join us. If you do not want to join us, you don't have to. You can sit here and just breathe and take some quiet time. We're going to go out this way. We're going to go out this way. Whoa. Okay, sorry about that. We're going to go out this door, and when we're done, I'm going to sing Going Out in Peace, and we're going to come back in here, grown-ups, and they're going to go to their level. Okay, all right. You ready? Press my... thank you for doing something a little bit different with us today and for supporting our children. And I hope that you found something outside on the earth to help you begin our journey of repair. We're going to light our healing candle. Helen, would you please light our healing candle? As we light our healing candle, we'll just take a moment to be mindful about the emotions that we are noticing in our body, which ones need healing, which ones can help heal, and what tools for repair we already share with the world. Our ritual of the sharing of joys, concerns, and sorrows embodies the belief that there is power in being together. This is a ritual that supports our healing and sustains us with love. Each week in our Joys and Sorrows book, you are able to write any significant joy or sorrow occurring in your life that you would like for the congregation to know. And today, I have somebody who was here on November 6th was able to write a note in. And they wrote, "This is a very sad, very disappointing day. Maybe there will be more hopeful tomorrow. We must persevere and continue our mission while allowing time for grief to process too." Dorothy wrote that it was a joy that Stephen and Maria were here working on our grounds. Thank you, Stephen and Maria, who are presently not here, but we thank them anyway. Isabella is proud of herself because she wrote a perfect, beautiful, sad poem. You'll have to ask her about it after the service. And Julia says she is thankful to be here among her church and spiritual family. And there is an anonymous note that says, "In a divided society, in red and blue, is purple rain possible?" And so I invite you now to come forward for our weekly ritual of joys and sorrows. You may take whichever stone or stones feel right to you and drop it in the water, connecting to others, feeling the power of being together in this community. will put stones in for anyone joining us on Zoom or on the live stream. Thank you all for joining us this morning.
Here we gather, tucked back in this friendly neighborhood, between the beautiful tall pines. We are a community of people who have arrived from many different paths. Yet we seek a common goal, to bring more love to a hurting but beautiful world. As Unitarian Universalists, we aspire to reach this goal through our shared values, one of which is the value of interdependence, which calls us to honor the interdependent web of all existence and to covenant to cherish Earth in all beings by creating and nurturing relationships of care and respect. Our shared value of interdependence asks us to do this with humility and reverence by acknowledging our place in the great web of life and working to repair harm and damaged relationships. This we can only do together, and your monetary gifts are essential to supporting our endeavor to repair and heal. This week, we are taking up a special UUCL Project Shared Plate collection, as we will once a month. This week, we will share the plate donations with the membership committee. Vaisel will speak for 1 minute.
Thank you, Mary.
Now.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming this morning and sharing this sacred, safe place with us. And our membership committee, in order to make it sure, one of our outreach projects is attending Lakeland First Friday events, which is a major event not only for Lakeland, but also Polk County. And our membership team, First Friday team, we are trying to raise enough funds to be a better spot in that event so that more people like yourself can learn about us and hear that there is a safe place for them here in Lakeland, in the center of Polk County, which many of you may be like, maybe like me, heartbroken, feeling hurt, sad due to last, results over the week. But my 1 minute is over. But be generous, think about our pluralism, and let's make this safe place available for more. Thank you.
Our ushers will now pass the plate.
Thank you all for your generosity, and thank you for being here. Bell Hooks reminds us that rarely, if ever, are any of us healed in isolation. Healing is an act of communion. You likely brought a broken heart with you today, alongside anger, fear, despair, confusion, sadness, disappointments, There's so many emotions we could name right now. And I've talked to many of you this week, and what I've heard from you so far is an abundance of concerns. Mary, can you pull that? Mary, can you pull? It's misbehaving. I've heard, I'm in a same-sex marriage. Will it be dissolved? Will they be rounding us up and taking us to a camp? Should I leave the country? My Latina spouse and our Latinx friends and family are going to need to carry papers and passports with them at all times now to prove that they are citizens of the U.S. so they don't get deported. What will happen to them? What will happen to my Social Security, my health insurance? What will they be teaching our children in the schools? How many more women will die without abortion health care access? Are women going to become property? How do we need to help our trans children and adults survive in this world? Will we even be able to afford groceries and necessities? Are science and truth going to be silenced and suppressed? And so many more questions and concerns. But hopefully you came here today because you know that healing in community is a powerful strategy to an active hope, something tangible that we can hold on to. We have one another, and together we can offer smiles and share tears. We can embrace one another and put our hands to good work. We can sing, we can hug trees and touch grass and listen to birds. We can dance. We can absorb the power of healing words. We can simply just be together and not alone. So let us sing together a hymn called Comfort Me. It's in your teal hymnal. It's number 1002. And let us sing it so that we can find together the ways to repair. want to read you a message that the president of the Unitarian Universalist Association released on Wednesday morning. The UUA president is the Reverend Dr. Sophia Betancourt. She said, "We gather on the morning after in a time of great fear and devastation and very real risk to ourselves and our beloveds. There is so much that we cannot yet know. Even if we know the shape and fear the character of our next governmental administration, we cannot fully know what is yet to come in this country. What I do know, beyond any reasonable doubt, is that we are a sanctuary people. We can make that claim. From the powerful efforts of our elders in the middle of the 20th century through to our congregations and communities offering shelter to migrants today. Whether harbor or Pink Haven, our homes, sanctuaries, and even our national headquarters model what it means to offer solidarity, shelter, and asylum in the face of what many of us cannot begin to imagine. These are times that will be defined by the continued and increased need for organizing and a faithful commitment to mutual aid. I want to invite us all back to what we learned in our earliest understandings of what humanity itself means. We draw our purpose from the call to honor and uphold the non-negotiable sacredness of each and every person, of earth, and of all beings, bound up together in an abiding love that rests in the call to justice. So many of us are afraid today, fearful for the safety of our loved ones, and overwhelmed by the public plans to deny our basic human rights. I invite us to feel the reality of that concern and to hold one another in our grief. I also want us to remember how very many others in our UU communities and across the nation share our values and prepared all the way through this election for what might be asked of us through the remainder of this month and beyond. Look to your community partners. Draw on all you have learned through UU the Vote and other opportunities to work for electoral justice. Know that you are never alone. Your UUA will be with you this day and for all the days to come. We have been planning for this possibility and are here to offer best practices for safety, theology, spiritual practice, and communal care. We will rest in the strength of our covenants and bring that love, generosity, sacred witness, and values-driven interdependence to bear as we continue to work toward a future where our liberation is collective and all of our people can count themselves whole. She says, I love you. Let us keep working toward all that we hold most holy together. Thank you, Reverend Sophia. Today we're going to prepare tea. Tea ceremony is a sacred way of being together. And so while Petra and Mary pour the hot water into the teapots, we will just take a moment to imagine. This is a tea ceremony designed by Magic Hour Tea, and we do need some magic. Like the warm water, imagine the waters of your heart filling with warmth. As we pour the water over the tea leaves, envision the cleansing of your spirit and the purifying waters of the earth flowing freely. As the tea steeps, imagine all your greatest dreams and visions sleeping, waiting to bloom and flourish. This sacred ceremonial practice is a way to reconnect with our innate wisdom and the cosmos. It reminds our subconscious of the flow of life. As the tea transforms before our very eyes, we are also reminded of the transformation we undergo every day, every hour, and every moment. Dry leaves are steeped and unfurl in the hot water, imparting their qualities of where and how they were grown, nurtured by rain or stressed by drought, scented by the trees and flowers around them, their character developed by care and altitude, air and earth, by the hands of humans across the world. Tea is a manifestation of reverence, our natural state of awe and wonder. It fills us with gratitude for the gifts and abundance both within and around us. It slows our nervous system, eases the chatter of the mind, and grounds us into our true selves. Tea and tea ceremony is a sanctuary, a blessedly safe space to practice self-care. It has been used to soothe, heal, and remind humans for thousands of years to sit, observe, become present, and breathe the sacred into our lungs as the gift of life breathes us in return. It has been used to invoke consciousness into any matter. Tea facilitates forgiveness between enemies and compassion between friends like no other ritual can bring about. Tea ceremony reminds us of the pure miracle existence is, and that we are. It reminds us to welcome all that is. While the tea is steeping, let us listen to some healing words. I will begin with a passage from Lama Rod Owens. He wrote, "Much of my freedom and joy is bound up in my capacity to mourn. Mourning is my attempt to acknowledge heartbrokenness, accept it, and offer it space to be in my experience so it may do its work of teaching me and passing through. Whenever I feel this energy, I allow it. In my practice, I'm trying to be in power with my heartbrokenness. This means that I meet my woundedness, my discomfort, with a kind of friendliness. This friendliness is an expression of love, and that love is the energy that opens up the space around the discomfort." How do we meet discomfort with friendliness? Maybe think about a role model for friendliness that you had when you were a child. Someone who taught you not just to be friendly to others, but also to yourself. I think of Mr. Rogers. He had a lot of wise things to say. Mary and I are going to read some of those wise words to you now. Mr. Rogers said, "I have always called talking about feelings important talk. Knowing that our feelings are natural and normal for all of us can make it easier for us to share them with one another."
How great it is when we come to know that times of disappointment can be followed by times of fulfillment, that sorrow can be followed by joy, that guilt over falling short of our ideals can be replaced by pride in doing all that we can, and that anger can be channeled into creative achievements and into dreams that we can make come true.
Often, out of periods of losing, come the greatest striving toward a new winning streak.
A high school student wrote to ask, "What was the greatest event in American history?" I can't say. However, I suspect that like so many great events, it was something very simple and very quiet with little or no fanfare. Something such as someone forgiving someone else for a deep hurt, that eventually changed the course of history. The really important great things are never center stage of life's dramas. They're always in the wings. That's why it's so essential for us to be mindful of the humble and the deep rather than the flashy and the superficial.
The purpose of life is to listen to yourself, to your neighbor, to your world, and to God, and when the time comes, to respond in as helpful a way as you can find from within and without. And thank you, Mr. Rogers. So we're going to sing a song. It's a song that was the inspiration of a Muslim residing in the United States during 9/11. His name was Samir Badri. Samir recruited the composer, Ted Warmbrand, who was Jewish, to set his words to a tune. And then they were featured at a peace rally in Arizona before the U.S. bombing of Afghanistan and then Iraq. We're going to sing it in the Arabic that's in the hymnal. It's number 1032. But I want you to know what it means. It means let us live in peace. Let us live in inner peace. Let us weave our dreams together. Let us die in peace. Well, our tea should be ready, perfectly brewed and waiting for us. And so we're going to invite you up to come get a cup of tea and then to sit back down, and we are going to have tea together and listen to some more words of wisdom. So feel free to come up, and Petra and Mary will help you get some tea. There's different flavors. Pick the one that's speaking to you now. Ginger, we have orange, we have peppermint. I think there's a chocolate black tea, maple apple cider. What's speaking to you in this moment?
Do we have any idea what I think you taste them there. That's all there is a taste.
And I want you to know that I appreciate all of you being willing to participate in these different rituals that we're doing today. These are meant to help us learn how to repair, how to ground ourselves, be mindful, be together, find joy, even in our grief.
That keeps all the spin out. It's like O's instead of S's.
One thing I love about tea is it reminds us to slow down, take our time. While you sip it, don't be afraid to take the time to ask yourself what you smell, what you feel. Get in touch with your senses in this moment. What you see, what you hear.
How people want to stay.
Well, peppermint tea, it always makes me feel better right here. Big tea drinker.
I love hearing the voices. Even if I'm talking over you, I still love hearing your voices because it reminds me that I'm with you and not alone. And I'm grateful for the musicians who play under us and set the mood. Thank you, thank you. Well, let us return now to a little bit of quiet. I have some words for you to steep on while you're drinking your tea. I do my best. I love the concept of coevolution, especially as Adrienne Marie Brown defines it. Coevolution is the change of a biological object, like us, triggered by the change of a related object. In other words, we are influenced by one another, and we influence others, and we all grow and evolve together. Let me tell you a short story. I have a little banana tree in my backyard. It was the baby of a baby tree that I received from the very generous Ken and Dorothy. We planted it in only a partially sunny area, so it had to work really hard to grow. But it had a great summer. Little by little, it got taller. It grew some big, shiny green leaves that joyfully pointed up to the sun and soaked up the rain. I was very proud of it. But as it happens at the end of a Florida summer, that Hurricane Milton blew through, and one of my fence panels fell over on top of my little tree. It smacked it down, crushed it. I don't know how the tree felt, but I felt a little bit defeated and sad. I mean, it always seemed to be trying so hard to grow. Well, after about a week, I decided to lift that piece of fence back up and off the tree. And some of that little banana tree's leaves were still green, and it was still sort of attached to its base. So I pushed it back up to see what might happen. It stood for a couple of days until the dog came along and plowed it over again. I love my dog, but my trees, poor tree. It didn't seem to have a chance, so I just let it lie there to become a part of the earth again. Well, this past Thursday morning, as I was ready to get out of my post-election funk, I went outside to listen to the birds and feel the sunshine. And from the base of that little tree, up from its roots, was growing a small but magnificent green banana tree. It was budding again, alive with hope and some sort of resilient magic, reaching towards the sun again. And it gave me the energy I needed to smile, to keep my chin up, see the light, find some hope, and to keep co-evolving right alongside it. I'm thankful for that tree, and I'm thankful for Ken and Dorothy who gave it to me. Mary, would you please read these words by Barbara Kingsolver?
Truth and love have been smacked down so many more times in history before today. Truth, because it's often inconvenient, and love, because it is vulnerable. But truth is like gravity and carbon and the sun behind an eclipse. It's still there. And love stays alive if you tend it like a flame. If you feel crushed by unkindness today, it's a time for grieving, reaching out to loved ones, noticing one bright color somewhere in the day, remembering what there is to love. Starting with the immediate, the place and people we tend ourselves and make safe. We can't save everything all at once, but it's still worth saving something because there are so many of us to do it. And we are all still here today, exactly as we were yesterday, like gravity and carbon and the sun behind an eclipse.
We turn to the words of Lama Rod Owens. He said, "Much of my mourning comes from feeling as if I have lost much of my magic. I mean the magic of rituals and relationships my ancestors relied on to keep them attuned to both the material and the unseen worlds, as well as the magic of creativity, passion, joy, and resilience. I want to remember my magic. I want to remember how to divine the future, resurrect the past, and dance in the present. I need a return to the weather and the trees. I want to cast spells and write new rituals. I want to return back to the earth and ask it to teach me how to heal myself and others around me. I want to remember the secret names of ancient creatures who have learned to hide from modernity. I want to remember the gods and the goddesses, the rites of blood and coming of age. I want to remember the ceremonies for sun, moon, and water. I want to evoke the vulture and the horse. I want to have agency over demons. I need to remember that there is no such thing as death. I want to remember that I have a right to be free. And I want for all of you to remember that you have a right to be free. I want you to remember to take care of yourself, and remember that taking care of something else is an important part of taking care of yourself. And these are words of Rebecca Solnit, and she said, because you are interwoven with the 10 trillion things in this single garment of destiny that has been stained and torn, but is still being woven and mended and washed. So what now? What do we do now? Perhaps these wise words will point us in that way. These were written by Nigerian writer, artist, and priestess of the Ifa and Orisa tradition, Aya Ehime. They wrote, you gotta resurrect the deep pain within you and give it a place to live that's not within your body. Let it live in art. Let it live in writing. Let it live in music. Let it be devoured by building brighter connections. Your body is not a coffin for pain to be buried in. Put it somewhere else. And so I hope as we move forward, we can create together art, music, connection. And once again, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for participating in different sorts of rituals together. Mary will read our closing words.
This is the poem Hurricane by Mary Oliver. It didn't behave like anything you had ever imagined. The wind tore at the trees. The rain fell for days, slant and hard. The back of the hand to everything. I watched the trees bow, and their leaves fall and crawl back into the earth, as though that was that. This was one hurricane I lived through. The other one was of a different sort and lasted longer. Then I felt my own leaves giving up and falling, the back of the hand to everything. But listen now to what happened to the actual trees. Toward the end of that summer, they pushed new leaves from their stubbed limbs. It was the wrong season, yes, but they couldn't stop. They looked like telephone poles and didn't care. And after the leaves came blossoms. For some things, there are no wrong seasons. This is what I dream of for me. And the closing song is What's Going On.
We're all going to sing it together. And the words are in your order of service, so pick it on up and stand up and body your spirit and let us sing.
3 and 4 and.
God
We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of love, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world.
Go out into the world now and find a place where your work of repair is needed. And remember that you are loved, you are worthy, and you are a blessing.
So are you.
Please join us in the social hall for potluck for lunch. For lunch.
I'll make it to the end. I think so.
Can I talk to you for a sec, Sherry?